Behind every great man is a good woman behind him, supporting him, right? I'm sure you guys have all heard that kind of implanted idea that we all kind of have that has been implanted since we were kids. Is it actually true or not? It can be true. But more likely than not, what is actually going on here, right? We'll look at examples kind of like Jeff Bezos versus Alex Hormozy. There's a lot to cover in this video, but basically what we're going to cover is what actually is a girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? Like, what actually is that? And can they actually support your life in a meaningful way? Can they actually make you a better man and want you to strive for more, right? And how should you even navigate that entire kind of rhetoric, if you want to say? If you like this content, boys, scroll down, hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 200, baby. We gotta hit that magic number. We're almost there. So, behind every let's just get this sentence let's clear up the sentence here, right? Behind every successful man is a good woman. Okay, let's just look at the facts here. What successful men do we know that has a good woman behind them? There's that guy from Impact Theory, like the podcast dude. And then there's Alex Hormozy. Those are literally the only two guys that I know. Maybe like Peter Attia, maybe. But here's the thing you find about, I think Alex Hormozy's wife is kind of like the only clear example where okay, let's back up for a second. Why is this statement a lie in the first place? Every successful man has a good woman behind him. Okay, what actually is a woman? What is a girlfriend? Why does a woman actually choose to be your girlfriend in the first place? Now, this will actually change depending on the age group, which relates back to the whole Hormozy situation, because I guess Elliot Hulse as well, right? If you guys know Elliot Hulse, he's kind of like the OG men's help guy. He's been married to his high school sweetheart since he's been a kid, right? And he will be the first guy to say that his wife is the reason why he is who he is today. And you know what? Funny enough, my ex-wife is also the reason why I am where I am today. Here's the thing. This is the actual reality of the situation here. Why does a woman actually choose a man in the first place? So let's talk about a man in his early 20s to late 20s. Like, let's say the 20s era, right? A woman almost has to do a time cost analysis evaluation on your potential when she actually partners up with you. So she's looking for behaviors. She's doing her best guess. She's looking at behaviors of, can this guy make something of himself? What's his ambition like? What's his work ethic like? Here's a big one. What is his competence level? Or actually, what is his competence capacity? If this guy is presented with a problem, can he figure it out real quick? Can his brain adapt very quickly? They're all scanning for that shit in your 20s, right? Here's the thing. What did I not mention in that list? I did not mention that they are scanning to look for which guy they can actually help be successful. Now here's the thing. There is a broken boy meta, but that's not the same thing. The broken boy meta is a guy who, that's like the fixer-upper. Women love fixer-uppers. That's not the same thing. So, okay, let me explain this. You have two guys, right? You have guy A. He's like, here's the crazy, dude, this is the craziest shit, okay? So let's say you're like 30 years old, just example. You're 30 years old. You have two guys. One guy who's 30 years old, he has like a 9 to 5, a nice stable job. He pays his bills, he has a car, he has an apartment, whatever. He's just like a normal guy. He's normal, just completely normal, right? Objectively on paper, this guy is the better selection, right? Guy B is like a drug addict or an alcoholic, or he has anger issues, or he can't hold down a job. He has a weed addiction. Just like, it's not like vague. It's something that like is grossly wrong with this guy. Like he has a huge problem, right? Guy number 2 will have far more success with women than guy number 1. Riddle me that shit, buddy. How does that make any sense, right? So guy A did everything correctly, but the guy who's a complete degenerate will get more success with women. Why is that? This is the whole like, I can fix him narrative, right? Guys have this shit too. I can fix her, right? I don't know why humans have that shit. It's an emotional, the answer, it's an emotional roller coaster addiction, right? It's a validation addiction. It's almost like pseudo motherly behavior. So like every woman kind of has this need to be motherly. I don't care if you're like a feminist, a liberal woman. I don't care if you're on like testosterone. Women have this nature in them, right? That's why they all get cats and dogs if they're alone. Because they want to take care of something. They want to nurture something, right? So when they see a guy who's like hella broken, that's it unlocks this thing in their mind. It's like, I can take care of him. That's my project. This is my need for motherly affection. That they want to do that shit. That's why broken boys get have such good game, right? The guy A, he's not really broken. Now, how this relates back to every good man has a good woman. So the woman in that scenario has two choices, doesn't she? She can pick guy A and help him to succeed further. She can push him. Hey, that 9 to 5, let's start a business. How can we, that's like the Hormozy thing, right? Actually, he was a bum, funny enough. Never mind. He was a broke ass bum. So the woman's like, she can choose option A. She can be like, we're gonna take the things that you've already kind of established and exponentiate them together. Why does that never happen? Or B, I'm gonna take this broken ass man and I'm gonna fix him up to the level of guy A. And then that's where the sentence comes from. Behind every good man or successful man is a good woman. So in scenario B, that would be true, isn't it? Because this girl fixed this man up to just being a like she took him from a 1 to a 5. And now he's a successful man. The success is he overcame his addiction or his vice. He overcame it because of the woman. Therefore, success story. Why do you never hear of guy A? Why do you never hear about that shit? Now, guy A was my scenario, and let me explain. Guy A is every like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Uh, every entrepreneur, Elon Musk, every multi-billionaire, kind of like, I don't know how you describe it. They're the guys who got married because they're the guys that got married, but their purpose was greater than the marriage or the self, right? They wanted to be like apex predators in their field. Now, what do you guys think the women do in these situations? They don't help. They never help. In fact, all they do is wait for the exit. All they do, dude, it's fucking fascinating with this shit. It's a lie, dude. There's no great woman behind every great man. This is the biggest bullshit, dude. The woman in the Jeff Bezos scenario, for example, or my example, she will try everything possible because Jeff Bezos is guy number one. He's like the 9-to-5 good guy. Nothing really wrong with him, right? He's supposed to be the provider male, the beta male. He's not supposed to be a go-getter. So the wife in that scenario, she's like, I married you because you're supposed to be stable and have stability. You're not supposed to make more money and be a go-getter. So she will try everything humanly possible. They don't talk about this shit, dude. The woman in that scenario will try everything humanly possible to stop you from succeeding. Be careful with this shit, okay? And it's all subconscious, crazy shit. They will, dude, one of the examples, I talked about this example before, but I have this one example where like I needed to get this one video out. And I was like, babe, can you please do the dishes? Please, I'm so tired. I'm on like 2 hours of sleep and I just need to get this video done. And she said, no, I worked 8 hours too. I think it's not fair if I do the dishes. So in her mind, in that scenario, the goal was to not help the couple succeed or to help the man succeed. It was to sabotage. Do you know what I'm saying? So the Jeff Bezos situation, she's like, I'm not doing the dishes. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. I'm not helping you with that. And they will go out of their way. I've talked about this in previous videos before. My income quadrupled after my divorce. Oh yeah, riddle me that shit, right? Now, here's the thing. There's motivation and action, right? Two different, and then this is kind of what you need to know about this video coming up here. So the woman will cause arguments for like 4 hours, waste your fucking time. She will she'll schedule weird dinners without telling you and say that it's like important to her family and shit, and then now you miss deadlines and it fucks your business over. She creates all these problems and all these firewalls, and you're married to her, you can't do anything about it now, but she will create all these weird firewalls that will block you from success. And they say that behind every great man is a good woman? I don't think so, man. Now, there's motivation, and then there's, what's the other word here? There's the reason why, motivation. There's the reason why a man tries to get better or improve, right? And then there's the pushing force behind it, I want to say. Here's what I mean by this. So in my example, The reason why I wanted to become successful was for my wife, right? I was chilling. I was guy A, where I was chilling with my 9 to 5, no problem. I was good. I was happy, right? But I wanted more for her. Therefore, I grinded for her, which they actually don't appreciate that though, which we can save for another video of why they don't give a shit. They just care about feeling good and emotions and all that stuff. They don't actually, so here's the thing. They don't actually care about your grind, right? And we'll get to what happens at 40 years old in a second here. So the motivation was that I wanted better for my ex-wife at the time, right? And now that that's gone, what's the motivation now, right? The motivation now, well, there's two actually. I don't want to ever, the pandemic kind of woke me up a little bit, not gonna lie, like the lockdowns and all that shit. We'll save that for another video too. That's kind of half the reason, but the main reason related to this video is that one day I do still want a child or two, right? And I need to, I'm using the motivation of the future kid is going to need a lot of resources. Therefore, I need to grind my shit right now. I need to keep the grind going for the future of whatever the future holds, right? When you're 30 or 25, you're not really thinking like that, right? So as a man, here's the key, okay? If you're single, if you're in a relationship, you have to disconnect the motivation pushing you to be better versus the woman behind every man is a good woman. Because that woman is gonna get credit no matter what. So like, dude, it's insanity. It's like, you'll do all the work, you'll be the successful one, she will divorce you and take half your shit, and all the friends and family will say it's because of her he's successful. This shit's fucking maddening, brother. It's maddening. So you have to disconnect that. You cannot use a woman for your motivation. It has to be external to her. Like you have to do it regardless, right? Now, as a 40-year-old man, when you're actually on the dating market, women are not looking for the potential that you have anymore. They're looking for, it's kind of insufferable a little bit. Let's go back to, what is a girlfriend in the first place? Think about it for a second. And why is this whole narrative of every good guy has a good girl behind him and all this shit? Why is that a lie? A woman is a liability. Okay, here's the thing. What's a liability and what's an asset? Think about it for a second. So if you take a house, for example, or a better example, like a Lamborghini, okay. A Lamborghini, is that a asset or a liability? Now, the definition of asset or liability, an asset makes you money, a liability loses you money over time, right? Now, a Lamborghini can be both at the same time. Because a Lamborghini, you have your payments, it costs money for maintenance, it's a gas hog, it's just consuming resources, right? Kind of like a woman does, right? Now, on the other hand, how can it be an asset? Well, when you own a Lamborghini, now all of a sudden you're invited to the high-end parties. Now all of a sudden you're getting invited to business dealings behind closed doors. So even though this liability of a Lamborghini is costing you money every month, it makes you more money by factor of owning it. It's the exact same thing with women. You have a girl on your arm. What is that girl? It's a liability and an asset at the same time. Think about it. I mean, if you zoom in a little bit, when you actually surf Twitter or YouTube or social media, this is kind of like this is actually odd to me that humans do this, but because I was never like that, but I kind of get it though. Let's say you, who's the easiest example here, man? Poor girl, man, I hate to bring this up, but like, if you look at, there's this Call of Duty streamer called Huskers, and he just got married to this girl, and man, the poor girl is like not the most attractive cookie in the jar, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure she's such a sweet, actually, I didn't meet her, but I saw her in real life. She's such a sweet girl too, man. Like she's like a 4 out of 10, but she just adores the guy, right? So be happy for them. Fucking they're happy, you're happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. Anytime I remember the first time this guy posted about his girlfriend, he got roasted and she got roasted. And then they both just, so what I mean by a woman can be an asset or a liability, just the easiest example of this is in the context of like a social media presenter. This is why I never talk about my girlfriends, never show them, brother. So here's the thing. If we take the Huskers example, if he showed a baddie, dude, the next video that we're gonna do, actually, I'm actually gonna talk about Asmongold's new girlfriend. Subscribe so you don't miss that one. This is kind of related to that in a certain way, right? So Asmongold posts a picture of this like Asian doll baddie that's his girlfriend, which I think was a mistake, but he did anyway, or whatever. And now she's so much better looking than him that like the entire planet is like, how did he get her? Raising his status, making him more money, more controversy, more respect from other men. Maybe this guy has game now. If he were to post a picture of a girlfriend that was just the same level as him, like a 5 out of 10, like just like a normal girl, like the Huskers type girl, well, now all of a sudden, his value is lower because all he could get was an average girl. So here's the conundrum with women. Behind every good man is a good... Did Asmongold get his success because of a woman, or did the woman come afterwards? Think about that shit for a second. So when you have a woman on your arm, she's a liability and she's an asset at the exact same time. She chose you. She is with you because you're good at sex or whatever. You provide safety, security, and you make her look good too. Right? It kind of goes for them too. You're an asset and a liability at the same time, right? So when you have this girl on your arm, she's costing you money, dates, time. Time is the biggest one. Like relationship time, texting them, talking about shit you don't care about, just wasting ungodly amounts of time, going on dates and all this shit, not building your business. That's all liability. The asset, though, so for me personally, the asset part of the equation, I don't use girls for social clout. I don't know, that's just like ethically a weird thing to me. I've never tested it, to be fair, but I just feel like this world is so full of crazy psychopaths that like the more attack vectors you give them, the more they're gonna take it. And you know, I don't know. That's just not me, man. But anyway, the actual asset part of it for me, is I think in my specific scenario that the time I save by having a girlfriend, not having to go out clubbing every weekend to find new matches and go through the whole dating thing, she actually saves me time and mental energy to focus on my business 5 days of the week, and she only takes up 2. So if I didn't have the girlfriend, maybe I would be using 2, 3, 4, or 5 days a week to get a new girlfriend, thus reducing the business hours. Because a man needs to have sex, you know what I'm saying? You can dry spell here and there, but that shit will drive you insane eventually, man, you know what I'm saying? So she's a liability, but she's an asset. So here's the thing, and I've talked about this before too, where I attribute a lot of the success of, I attribute a lot of my success over the last year or so to this new girlfriend that I have. Not because she actually did anything to help the business, but just that she wasn't in the way. She just didn't get in my way, like all my other exes have in the past. Like, so all my previous exes are actively sabotaging my progress and success, and this one just doesn't. Therefore, it's a net positive and a net gain. Do you know what I'm saying? So back to the original sentence of this video. Behind every man is a good woman. She is a good girl, to be fair, but it has nothing to do with her, you know what I'm saying? Behind every man, here's what the sentence should say. I think the sentence is a euphemism for behind every man is an objective greater than himself that he's striving for. And that can just happen to be a woman that he's dating. But then she doesn't get the credit for that. She doesn't get the credit for you doing all the work. You are doing it for your future family. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your future children. She's not there going through your accounting books and doing your taxes for you. She's not there editing your videos for you. She's not there doing your marketing for you. She's not doing shit. But you're still doing it for her though. So she's not doing fuck all, but she's still motivating you to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the entire thing about behind every good man is a good woman. It's like no one really dives into what that actually means, does it? So you see like Leonardo DiCaprio at the gala with a good woman on his arm. What is that exactly? Is she going to his auditions for him? Is she driving him around? No. She's existing beside him and not causing problems. That's what that sentence means, brother. And here's the thing. If you're with a girl and you love her to death, and you actually want better for you and your family, and you're gonna start grinding it for her, pay attention that at the end of that road, are they gonna say, it's because she was with him? Or is it because you did it for something greater than the self and she just existed beside you? You know what I'm saying? And that's the best case scenario. It has nothing to do, never, ever, ever expect a woman that you're dating, your wife or whatever, to actually help you in anything. But goddamn, they will take the credit for that shit. Anyway, guys, scroll down, hit that subscribe button. We'll talk about Asmongold's situation in the next video. It's gonna be a gooder. There's so much to unpack there, man. All right, guys, subscribe. See you in the next one.